Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Dynamite review, AEW Dynamite for the 23rd of September, 2020. Mixed bag of a show, really. Some stuff that I despised, some stuff that was really good, and some stuff in the middle. Your broadcast team, Jim Ross, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone, as normal. Excalibur gets worse by the week, also as normal, and so too does some of the booking decisions in a company that I really enjoy, which just kind of makes me sad. But there's also some good stuff that is undeniably good, and overall, it was a good show, just some questionable stuff. Anyway, we open up with Miro, formerly known as Rusev in WWE, and he and Kip Sabian face off against, now get this, Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss. Why? Why do you put a guy like Miro in there with Joey Janela? I don't get it. Miro should have looked like a star here, and there's no way that being in there with Janela can make him look like a star. This is the worst possible way to debut. Well, maybe not worst possible, but certainly on the lower third of ways to debut a former WWE guy. I just don't get it. No problem with the tag match. I don't necessarily agree with Sabian being who he's put with, but they've committed to that, and the best man thing is what it is. Anyway, Miro looks, huge. He's put on a bunch of muscle. It looks like a happier guy. So Janela and Kiss get some shine early, and that's on Sabian. And then Sabian and Miro cut Kiss off and worked him over. This is very basic. They do exactly what they need to do in a match like this. Janela gets the hot tag. I don't understand this. Sonny Kiss is over. Joey Janela is there to get Sonny Kiss over at best. Tell me, anybody in the comments, something Joey Janela has done in AEW or otherwise that is must see. I don't get it. Like, I get that he is big with the GCW Game Changer Wrestling crowd, and it takes credit for the Cluster Mess Battle Royal that they do. But he's a nobody who doesn't belong on national television. Anyway, so things get sloppy here. Miro brawls with Janela and Saban on the floor. He manages to tweak his ankle somehow, and I guess it's just a twist or a minor sprain. Miro tries to launch Saban over the barricade while he can barely stand to Janela. Janela manages to basically drop away, and there's a botch there somewhere. Miro uses his game over former Accolade finish to get the win. I just feel so sad because there's a cluster of like a minute and a half where Janela's just blowing spots and completely lost and completely ruining this for Miro. I don't know if Miro twisted his ankle on his own or if it was Janela's sloppiness that caused it. But anyway, Eddie Kingston enters and he demands the hard camera look at him. He walks right past Miro and Saban, by the way, and doesn't acknowledge them. Anyway, he says that he and Moxley used to be cut from the same cloth, but ain't that way no more. Moxley shells out, became a sports entertainer, selling his soul to the devil. Wow, that's pretty harsh language. Acquainting WWE to the devil. Not even I would go that far. He demanded Moxley face him, and Moxley enters. They do a pull-apart brawl to set up the main event for the night. I like Kingston on the microphone. Not really a fan of his in the ring. Never have been a fan of his in the ring, and he has grown greatly since the last time I saw him over a decade ago on the microphone. Anyway, Kenny Omega joins the commentary team again. Why? First of all, he's dressed like he shops at Walmart in the bargain rack. Second of all, how he manages to string sentences together without some sort of teleprompter is a mystery to me. He just has he has the personality of a used sponge. It's just miserable. Anyway, Hangman Page defeats Evil Uno with the Dark Order. I like Page. I love Page. Actually, the more I see of Page, the more he grows on me every week. And I'm not opposed to, if they pushed it for like another 6 to 9 months, him being the one to beat Moxley somewhere down the road, or maybe heaven forbid Omega beats Moxley and then Hangman beats Omega or something. He's got everything. I mean, they didn't really do anything to advance the story. Omega basically sidesteps the fact that Page still wants to be his partner. Omega has no interest in this. JR tries to guide Omega into coherent speech and still fails. And Omega said that he is a singles guy now. No one really gets into the why. No one really gets into when. They ask him when he's going to wrestle again. He says when it benefits me, which is totally a heelish thing to say. Page is... He's okay, but he definitely needs to be in there with someone like Kazarian who can bring the best out of him. Plumpy Uno is not the guy to do that. Anyways, match is a back and forth brawl. They go to break. Uno works over Page during the ad break. Page makes a comeback, and Uno tosses him to the stage. Dark Order try to attack him, or almost attack him. They tease whether Omega is going to go to his aid. Omega doesn't even bother to move in that direction. Page makes a second comeback, hits a standing shooting star for a near fall. Uno hits a senton for a near fall of his own. Page hits a power bomb and follows with a buckshot lariat, gets the pin. Yay. I mean, I'm the right guy won, but he could have been in there with someone better, and he also probably still needs guys that can put matches together to highlight him. Tony Schiavone interviews Matt Jackson backstage. Matt says that he and Nick have been acting out of character lately. He continues to act like a jerk. He makes fun of the people that they beat up, and then breaks Tony Schiavone's phone. Schiavone's acting could he use some work here. He's like, why? Why did you do this? If someone broke my $1,000 phone or $500 phone, I think I'd be a little more upset. Anyway, Nick manages to throw, or Matt, or whichever buck, manages to throw money at Schiavone for the inconvenience of the broken phone. Next, TNT Championship match, Brody Lee versus Orange Cassidy. Lee wins. I mean, it's pretty okay. Cassidy did his comedy stuff early, then does the duck and dodge for the majority of the match. I like Orange Cassidy, even though he's not traditional, because he's different. I wasn't always a fan. He's grown on me because I watch Dynamite every week, and I get it now. He basically mocks taking things seriously, but when he needs to go, he can go. Cassidy tries a dive, Dark Order cuts him off, and they beat him up through the break. Cassidy makes a comeback and dives. Cassidy hits a couple of DDTs for near falls. The second one looks more believable than the first. John Silver jumps up, and Cassidy hits him with the orange punch. Lee uses the distraction to hit a powerbomb and a lariat for the pin. This is what it should have been. There were moments where I actually thought, is it possible that Cassidy could beat him? And I thought that would be really bad for Brody Lee, but it would be interesting from a storyline perspective, but they rein it back in, and Lee wins. Post-match, Cody's music hits. He entered. He's dyed his hair dark again. He beat up some of the Dark Order, and Brody Lee escapes. Post-commercial, Lee cuts a promo. He asks what kind of man Cody is for sending Dustin and Brandy to do his work. And Lee asked what kind of man Cody is, that his wife is calling him daddy, which was just awkward. Lee pulls a dog collar and challenged Cody to a dog collar match. He gave Cody a week to decide. Strong promo here. Then we go to Matt Hardy and Private Party, no pun intended on the rhyming, and they make their way to the ring. Hardy says it's his birthday. Man, he's looking old. I'm sorry, he just does not look like a guy who should be featured on weekly TV. Anyway, Hardy said that he's attacked from behind. He's used a lot of words. He basically says that someone attacked him with a pipe or a bat, and he noticed this. He's blaming Jericho for it. Jericho comes out. The Inner Circle enters. Sammy Guevara is back. Jericho said he didn't do it. Jericho was carrying a baseball bat at this point. Hardy says he wants to fight the whole Inner Circle. Quinn and Cassidy talk hid some sense into him because, well, him against 5 or 6 people wouldn't be a good idea. Quinn says he's cleared. Cassidy said he's ready to make Le Champion his, well, I'll clean it up and say servant next week. FTR and Tully come to the ring for a promo. Tully says that tag team title matches on TV will now have a 20-minute time limit. FTR gets to pick the opponents. FTR are branding this the Brush with Greatness opportunity. They mentioned Best Friends as potential opponents. Best Friends enter, said they want to do it now. FTR acts like they're ready to fight, but then they beg off. Cash said it wouldn't be fair to the Best Friends since they were so beat up from last week, and that they should call Tully and maybe they will set something up. Then we go to Thunder Rosa and Shida versus Ivelisse and Diamante. I love Thunder Rosa. Shida is one of those people that is great in small doses. The match is just... yeah. The match was missing something. The cool thing, Rosa does a tribute to Road Warrior Animal, who's passed away. Shida and Rosa are attacked during the intro, and Diamante and Ivelisse cut Rosa off. I mean, they kind of work together and they do their thing. I mean, it feels like a fight. It was fine. Shida gets a hot tag during a commercial break, which is not the best idea. Shida pins Diamante with a Falcon Arrow and a Shining Wizard. I mean, it gets at least the champions getting the pin, which is good. Dasha's backstage with Jericho. Jericho said that Cassidy's going to be something someday, but next week he's going to he's gonna fall at the hands of Chris Jericho. MJF enters, and they continue to put themselves over to each other. This is great. This is how comedy is to be done. They both say that neither one called the other a jerk, that they were referring to other people. Next week, we will see Jericho and Cassidy. Britt Baker returns to Dynamite. Ricky Starks, Darby Allin, FTR and SCU, and Jon Moxley appearance. 30 Years of Jericho celebration will take place on the October 7th show. Main event of the show is next. That's Jon Moxley defeating Eddie Kingston to retain the title. They brawl all around. They trade shots, and it became a brawl within a minute or two. And they light each other up with chops and vicious strikes. Kingston is in control before the commercial break. We go to commercial, comeback. Moxley makes a comeback with a pile driver and a dive to the outside. Kingston hits a power bomb for a near fall. Kingston sold it like he might not be able to move, maybe an actual injury, at least for a moment, stinger, something of that nature. Moxley avoids a couple back fists and gets a submission win with a chokeout. Kingston never taps. Instead, he passed out. The referee stops it. And after the bell, Penta and Phoenix run in to attack Moxley. Will Hobbs comes out, makes the save. Penta and Phoenix recover. They lay out Hobbs. Darby Allin runs out to join the fray. Allin sent Phoenix and Penta to the outside with skateboard shots. Ricky Starks runs in, attacks Allin. Starks hits a spear on Allin with the skateboard, and Kingston goes back to after Moxley. The heels are in control to close the show. Overall, not a bad show, but there's definitely things they need to improve. It's weird because segments are either really good or they fall off the rails. There is no middle ground, and that's just kind of the recipe for Dynamite at the moment. Anyway, till next time, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.